So do you guys actually understand why we test you guys? I don't like tests. I mean, think about it. This is your final year, meaning you've been through multiple tests in this tertiary institution alone. I really don't like tests. Well, sir, I think it's so that you guys can understand if we understand all the content that you've taught us. Yes, I would concur. I'd say the same thing, yes. It's so that you guys see that we've been listening in class, we've been cooperating, and we've been studying. So one of the key things and the simple answer to that question is that we test you guys because we want to see how competent you are. But sir, is there no other way of testing competence without us having to write tests and having our arms sore and everything else? I mean, there has to be a better way to do this. So there's minimum requirements that allowed you to be able to sit on the seats that you're sitting on right now. There's then minimum requirements that will actually see you out successfully out of this course, this module, this institution, and even striving possibly to go further within the profession. So the first thing is that competence. We do it to test your competence. Are you work ready? Are you ready to actually move on to the next phase of the module? So you'll see that with every single module that you guys do, what we do is that we start with the basics. And then we progress until it becomes actually more difficult. We test you guys to see your ability to think critically, to be able to analyze information and data, but not only think critically, analyze the data, but also how do you apply that information and data in a pragmatic, in a practical way. How do you apply that information so that it's useful out there? Remember that a lot of people that have brought change into this world actually come from tertiary institutions. Whether they finished or not is secondary. There's a certain skills that they've learned from tertiary institutions. So take note of the fact that I didn't say most people who have degrees are the ones that change the world, right? Because there are some people that actually have changed the world without degrees. They've changed the world in the business sphere, they've changed the world in the technology space, and they don't have the necessary degrees. But there's a certain way that tertiary institutions help you think. They help you crystallize data. They help you see how data and information and what we call facts has changed and evolved throughout time. Because in tertiary institutions, research is a core component. In that research, we look at literature. Literature is data that was written and textualized from a long time ago until present or current. So we keep on receiving new information, coming up with new findings, developing new recommendations, and then moving from there. So to test you guys, it's not just for the fun of it or the hell of it. We test you guys because we also want to see the products that come from the institution that you are in. How ready are they to change the world? Or at least to think from a mindset or framework of wanting to change the world. Because we need to see from all the output from our side, meaning inputs from your side, how much of the information are you able to take in? Not only take in, but also critically analyze, critically think about, and then put a picture of it in the real world. To see your reflection of the real world through what it is you are taught. Remember that in such institutions, you aren't only taught. You aren't only taught. I'd say 80% of what you acquire in tertiary is self-taught. So if when you leave a lecture room, any lecture room, you just go and use that time as an opportunity to sit and do nothing, then you are teaching yourself to be a lazy bum, which is not what you came here for. These institutions, no matter how intelligent you are, they are meant to take you to the next level. So through our ability to test your capabilities and your competence and to be able to trust in your abilities when you leave here, it all starts with your ability to show us that you are ready. So the test score says, as a reflection to us, that from this module that I've taught you, you have been able to understand 80, 90, 95%, or just 50%. And therefore, it gives an indication to me. We test you guys in order to see how dedicated you are. Because as I said, 80% of it is self-taught. So we test to see that when you leave the lecture room, how you're spending your time, how intrigued are you by the program, how interested are you in making change, how interested are you in evolving with time. Because we also test so that you see that things change with time. The test that I wrote 10 years ago when I was sitting in your seat, you'll probably scoff and laugh at, because literature evolves. So we test you guys to see how you fit in present time and how ready you are to change, mold, and shape the future. So it's not about reading, memorizing, regurgitating, and getting 100%. It's your ability to apply that information. It's your ability to take that resource and source of information and apply it in the real world. So we test you for a number of reasons, guys. We test you for a number of reasons. We also test you to see how innovative you are. You know, with some questions, it's not really or necessarily about right or wrong. It's about how you apply your mind. It's about how you think about the subject matter. It's about how you elevate and take it to the next level. Interesting things, eh? So you get tested to be able to revitalize your mind and go into pockets of your mind that actually make a difference, actually shape and make a difference. You also get tested to see how you look at accurate data. Remember that in a script, you've prepared using accurate data. You've prepared to ensure that you don't misrepresent the facts. So we test to see that you understand the facts and you won't misrepresent it. We test you to see how when all the research output has been put into place, how do you then become part and parcel of that research output and take that research output to the next level. We also need to see how you present information, because a lot of people are skilled in writing. Some are skilled in speech articulation, right? But in such institutions, you all have to be able to write, comprehend, analyze, teach, search, share information. So you need to be the type of alumni that when you leave here, you have tested yourself to the limits. You have tested your ability. You have tested how far you can go with the brain that you've been blessed with, the motivation and inspiration that you have come across, the discipline that you've put in place, the dedication that you strive for, so that you get the results that you want. So when we test you, even though it's a requirement for me as a lecturer, we're actually testing you to see your capability. We're actually testing you to see how you're going to shape your future. So never take or undermine the tests. Never take the tests for granted. Don't undermine them. Take them seriously, because the results can actually shape where you move into the future. Now, I got my cum laude and it opened many doors. So results matter, output matters. How you teach yourself so that you comprehend, analyze, and understand the information, matters even more, because it is the diligent ones that actually make a difference. Cheers.